everlasting. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Madison. Thank you for choosing to spend this time with us. Whether online or here in person, we feel your presence. After the service, we invite you to join us in the Namaste Cafe in our lower level for refreshments. And today there are some very special refreshments, so do stick around. I'm Joy Morgan, and I'll be your celebration assistant today. To begin our service, Reverend Richard will be lighting our Advent candle, and after that we'll sing our opening song, Rise Up, O Flame.
Good morning. That's a good start for the morning. So, this was for last week, which was hope and faith. And this is the Christ lantern, which represents the light within us. And this is the candle for peace. And somebody said, peace begins with a smile. God bless you.
Thank you. Our prayer chaplain today is Kari Han. After service, Kari will be available to pray with you in our prayer chaplain corner. Written prayers may also be placed in the prayer box outside the prayer chaplain corner. Written prayers are held here in prayer for 30 days and then sent to Silent Unity to be held in prayer for another 30 days. And now Kari will come and lead our opening prayer.
Good morning. Good morning. So let's start by taking a nice, relaxed breath. And now breathe all the way out and let the air flow in naturally. And breathe out gently as we center in our hearts and connect more strongly with the divine power and strength within us. Let's breathe in from everywhere and breathe out to everywhere. And again, breathe in from everywhere and breathe out to everywhere. We have so much gratitude and appreciation for Reverend Richard, who's been a guiding light even from afar during these many months leading up to Reverend Carter Williams' arrival. We're so grateful that he was assigned to our church as an interim minister and that we were blessed by his loving presence. For those of us here live this morning, may we all enjoy the connections we make after church at the Christmas dinner. It's a great opportunity to meet new friends and interact with people we seldom see. We're grateful for all the people who put in time and energy to make this meal a reality, and a great send-off for Reverend Richard. As we wrap up the year, we eagerly anticipate Reverend Carter Williams coming to lead our church. When we start the new year, we'll have our own beginning here at Unity of Madison. At this time, we release any doubts or apprehensions, and as we keep our hearts open, it allows her abilities to shine as she brings all of her many gifts, talents, and experiences to Unity of Madison. For all of this and so much more, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen.
And now please stand if you wish as we sing our congregation song, Bring the Light. Please be seated. And now we'll have our Unity updates. There are quite a few, so bear with me, please. Our holiday schedule will include next Sunday, All Music Sunday. So if you have any offerings that you would like to share for All Music Sunday, please get them to Pete Calgaro no later than today. On Christmas Eve, we will have service, not in the morning, so you can enjoy a nice Christmas Eve breakfast at home or somewhere, at 6:30 p.m. So 6:30 Christmas Eve. And then on December 31st in the morning, we'll have our Burning Bowl ceremony and release all that doesn't serve us anymore. January 7th, we'll have our Whitestone ceremony with Reverend Deborah Carter-Williams' first Sunday. So that will be a wonderful way to start the new year, as Kari has said and as Reverend Richard has said. We have a holiday meal today with loving, industrious hands that have been elfing downstairs like crazy after the service today. So please share a meal with Reverend Richard before he returns to Virginia. Enjoy turkey, stuffing, potatoes, and gravy, veggie, vegan dishes, and dessert. Please join us, even if you haven't brought anything to pass. There's plenty for everybody, so please do that. And here are your instructions. What goes up must come down. So after the service today, please go upstairs or by the elevator, all the way back to the back stairway, downstairs, pick up your plate, and you will see how the flow is going to go. Let's see if I have that. We're going to line up the stairs through Youth Ed and down the back. Follow the signage. Okay, that should help. And if you have mobility concerns, please take the elevator, and volunteers will help you. Seating is available both in the lower and upper level. Beverages are available on both levels. And we also suggest the upper level may be easier for anybody using a wheelchair because it's less crowded up there. So we need about 5 minutes before food service will start. So there's plenty of time to grab a drink of water or use the facilities if needed. So stick around for a lovely, lovely holiday meal. The holiday gift connection is certainly alive and well. It makes the holidays brighter for children and families served by Madison's Family Support and Resource Center who may not otherwise receive holiday gifts. Monetary donations are still accepted today. Make checks payable to FSRC. And it looks like we're going to make a lot of children happy. Christmas choir and chime choir will perform on All Music Sunday and on Christmas Eve at 6:30. Rehearsal times will be tomorrow for All Music Sunday and the 18th for Christmas Eve. Chimes at 6 p.m., vocal choir at 7 p.m. And our performances are the 17th and the 24th. See Pete if you've got any questions. Anyone able to provide some extra treats on All Music Sunday would be appreciated. We're looking for people who can provide extra refreshments for our coffee and fellowship time after All Music Sunday service on the 17th. If you can help, please contact Dee Steele in this gorgeous red hat with her beautiful flounce on it, and or via the church office. And another musical treat, Pete just doesn't have enough to do, does he? That he shares his wonderful talents with us in so many ways. Friday at 7, Pete will share, it's a magical evening if you haven't attended, of a variety of uplifting music and musical experience here at 7 o'clock, and the tickets are $15. So please come along and share a sparkling, delightful evening with Pete. I know many of you have probably had that niggle of, I really would like to get more involved in what's going on here at Unity and take part and participate in a deeper way. There are so many helping hands that are working already, but we need candidates for nomination for board service. We have 3 positions, 2 3-year positions and 1 1-year position. So if you're thinking,
two alternate positions in addition to 2 3-year positions.
Joanne, would you say that again, please?
We have 2 3-year positions and 2 alternate positions.
Thank you. I stand corrected. So our Unity of Madison nominating team is seeking individuals interested in experiencing a spiritual growth opportunity. Serving as a trustee on Unity of Madison's Board of Trustees provides another level of sacred service that will assure your spiritual evolution. Consider volunteering to serve on the board and work with our new minister. Nomination packets are available out in the foyer, so please have a look, take one home, and have a closer look if you wish. Bring it back, all signed and sealed if you wish. We hope you choose to do that. Consider a position on the board. Joe gave you the top 10 reasons last week, and they're pretty darn good ones, but seeking a working relationship with our congregants is a really wonderful experience, and I'm glad to say that I've had that experience. So we know you're out there. Step on up. And I do believe that's the end of the weekend updates, and Barry Roberts is going to take over with our membership.
Thank you, Joy. So today we're recognizing a few new members to our community. So about 4 weeks ago, I led a membership class, and we had 6 people that committed to the membership agreement. And I told them at the time, that there's 2 things that happen with that. The practical side is once you become an official member, you can vote at the meetings and vote for the board and vote for the finances and all those kinds of things. So that's the practical side. But then there's the energetic side of just really affirming being a part of the community and moving this community forward. And it's a great example of the power of this community that we're attracting people that want to be here. That's awesome. It's not that way every place, so yeah. So on the membership form, and those of us, I'll say it right now as a reminder because it's coming up, that we all renew each year too, so that'll happen in January. But the member agreements that these folks agreed to are, I agree to be faithful to my own spiritual path by growing in consciousness and staying awake to the direction of spirit. I agree to support the mission of this spiritual community by participating in our Sunday celebrations, events, and community meetings as my schedule permits. I agree to share my time, talent with our community through participation in spirit groups or some form of sacred service that deepens my connection to this community. And I agree to financially support Unity of Madison's mission of transforming lives. So, if we could have our folks that are here, which is Amy, come on up, and Sylvia and Bethany, come on up and join. So we just have a little recognition piece for each of these with a flower, a certificate of membership, and a pen, one of our new special cool pens. So. Go ahead. Here, I'll take it.
Okay.
Let's welcome. So I encourage everyone to welcome them and continue blessing them through our time with our meals after this. And thank you guys. Appreciate it.
At this time, I'd like to welcome anyone joining us here for the first time today. Unity of Madison is an inclusive spiritual community that welcomes people from all faiths and backgrounds. We acknowledge the wisdom of all spiritual traditions and respect each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. Our goal is to empower and encourage each other in our spiritual journey. If you would like to know more about Unity of Madison, there are information packets available on the back table and in our Welcome Center. If you are online, you can request a welcome packet through the website www.unityofmadison.org, which you probably are on, or send an email to office@unityofmadison.org. At this time, let's say our affirmation together. Unity of... Whoopsie daisy, did I miss something? We're going to greet our neighbors after this. Okay, here we go. Unity of Madison is abundantly blessed. Creative people are drawn to us. Divine ideas flow through us. Financial resources bless us. And with God as our source, we accomplish mighty works together. Now let's share some more of that wonderful unity energy as we greet our neighbors in a way that you're comfortable singing The Face of God.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. The face
It's so wonderful to share all that energy. Our lead musician today and speakers hardly need an introduction, but Pete Calgaro will be providing our special music today. And Reverend Richard will be blessing us with his message today. And speaking of Reverend Richard, our gratitude for this week is to express sincere thanks to Reverend Richard. This week we are expressing gratitude to Reverend Richard Bunch. Reverend Richard came to us mid-year in 2022 to be our interim minister. He saw potential in Unity of Madison, and because of his belief in Unity of Madison, we became greater. So we appreciate your inspiring messages, wise counsel, prayerful countenance, and easy manner and joyful spirit. Richard, we will miss you terribly, and we're going to be so grateful you chose us. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And we are grateful to share that gratitude as we share a meal together downstairs too with Reverend Bunch to give him a hearty send-off. And now, let's center ourselves for the reading of today's daily word, which for me is my internal challenge, peace. As the Advent journey continues, I seek to embody peace. No matter what might be happening around me, I can rise above that which troubles and distracts me, all that takes my attention away from my spiritual life and my relationship with God. Peace is always mine, an aspect of my divine identity. When peace feels far away, I take it as a cue to center myself in spirit. I return to the practices that calm my mind and open my heart. As I relax and enter the silence, I touch the peace and perfection of God and claim that peace as my own. Returning to activity, I carry peace with me. I bring harmony to my interactions, calm to my reactions, and tranquility to every corner of my life. I won't just be peaceful, I will be peace itself. The scripture reading that accompanies our daily word today is from Jude, chapter 1, verse 2. May mercy, peace, and love be yours in abundance. And our affirmation together. There we go, together. Peace is the song of my heart.
No, there it is. So I'm going to play this instrument here that I'm holding. It's called a Rav-Vast. R-A-V-V-A-S-T. It's kind of a cross between a handpan and a tank drum. And it has a nice long ring on it. And I just invite you to just kind of feel the vibrations of it. If you really like it and you're like, wow, I just would really like to hear more of this kind of music, I will be playing this on Friday as well. So, along with many other similar type of instruments and other things. So I invite us to just kind of plant our feet on the floor, get into a relaxed position, and enjoy the Rav-Vast.
I have looked for a joke about peace for 2 weeks. I have read more than 500 jokes about peace. Some of them are funny, but I can't repeat them. Most of them dealt with husbands and wives, and I don't want to talk about those because I'll get in trouble with Vicky. And so I really could not find a good joke about peace, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. The other thing I want to do, but I will tell you something, it's kind of interesting, and maybe I wanted to speak to new members, but the rest of you can listen. But, you know, I came to Unity about 26 years ago, and I came to my first service in Unity. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what it was about. And we sat through the service. It was very moving to Vicki and myself, and it was in El Paso, Texas. And so what happened was we were coming out of the sanctuary, and as we were leaving the sanctuary, this, and I really mean it, little old lady, her name was Josephine, we became good friends, took me on my coat and said, and I was the only one who had a coat on, obviously, but anyway, took me on my jacket and said, God sent you here. I said, that's the strangest welcome I've ever had. What in the world? So, and that's what I said to Vicki after. She said, that is kind of unusual. And then the next Sunday, she walks up to me, because after that we started coming. We never stopped coming. The next Sunday she comes up to me and says, oh, by the way, remember what I said, God sent you here. And somebody overheard it and said, listen to her, she kind of is like a mystic in this church. And I said, all right. I wasn't used to mystics, I was a Baptist. Anyway, what happened was God had sent me there to help me, not to help the folks. For me to grow, for me to understand who I was and where I was coming. And so I'm just saying, welcome as new visitors, watch out. God may have called you here, okay? So, peace. What is peace? There's 100 answers to that. None of them right and none of them wrong. But what I want to do is start off by sharing a story that some of you may know about that took place in the way I think I'm pronouncing it properly, Menasha, Wisconsin, which is up near Green Bay. And it was about Aaron Stoffel, 2015. Some of you may remember the news. It hit the nation. She and her husband, with her 3 children, were out, and they were out in the park. And there's an old trestle there, railroad trestle in that town, that you walk out on just to celebrate. It's set up for visitors to go out and sit on the water and that kind of thing. And anyway, they were coming up. It was a beautiful March morning. And what happened was that she and her husband and the 3 kids came up the trestle. And when we got to the end of it, there was a man sitting there. And he jumped up, pulled out a pistol, killed her husband, killed her son. Yes, son. And then she got shot 3 times. And then after that, what happened was that she was able to save her children also, even though she'd been shot. And I mean, that doesn't sound like peace, does it? I know. But you'll see what's happening, okay? Because one of the things that happened when John, her husband, was shot is he looked at the killer and he said, I forgive you. I forgive you. And he said it out loud so she could hear it. And that moved her and helped her even as she moved through the tragedy. And certainly it was a very painful and grief-filled moment in her life. And so what happened was that somebody that she didn't know in the community called out to her, who had lost a son, and says, I know what you're going through. I want you to know I'm here to talk with you. I'm here to help you through your grief, and it will never go away. And so they became friends. And about 8 months later, Erin started a website where she reached out to people who had lost a loved one in some kind of tragic way. And she still has that website, by the way. And through that website and through what her husband said, she was able to manage the grief. She still had to be there for our other 2 children, and that was a tragedy for them also. And so everybody was going through this grief, which they knew would last in some ways forever. We all know that. When we have something like that happen in our lives, the loss of a loved one, whether it's natural or unnatural, from the standpoint of the way it happened, the grief is always there. You know, I can think about my parents, and they died in 2008, and I can still feel the loss. It just doesn't go away. But it doesn't mean that the grief is negative. It doesn't mean that I have to be sad over it. Because the grief reminds me of many wonderful times in my life with my parents, and I was very fortunate, and they were very fortunate. But it's still, there's grief there, and there always will be. And yet, that grief for me has turned into, and it happened very quickly for Erin, has turned into remembering the good times, remembering what was really meaningful in our relationship. And that's the way she dealt with her grief. The church helped her. She's a Mormon. And I got to tell you, one of the things I learned about Mormons was that when you're in trouble in the Mormon church, the church is there. Anybody here been a Mormon before? No. But that's the one thing they're really, they're famous for it. And I mean, they are there. They're there to help you anyway, financially, whatever it takes. They'll make sure you're okay. You are family. You are God's children. And that's the way they look at each other, and that's the way they treat each other. Isn't that a wonderful thing? And you guys do that here too, by the way. I'm not comparing. I'm just saying that's the way they are. And so she was very supported. And then she started this blog, and she started being this website. And she ran into a fellow, or she read about a fellow by the name of Steve. And Steve's wife was Wendy. Wendy was 36 years old. Wendy went to bed like most of us do, very calm, good night. And then Steve woke up during the night, and he didn't think, he said, she's awfully still. Goodness. So he decided he should wake her, and he couldn't wake her. And she had died of a heart attack, 36 years old. And they found out that it was a defective part in her heart, and I don't even know what the terms are, but that there was, that's what caused it. But more importantly, he had 4 children, 4 young boys. And he had no idea how to handle that. And he put it out on a blog, and she picked it on a Twitter or something like that, and she picked it up. So she wrote him and said, I know where you are. Nobody's in the same position, but I kind of know where you are. I've been there. I want to help you. And they started twittering back and forth. And then he started talking to her. And about a year later, they went to a church retreat, and at that retreat, they met each other. And a year later, they married each other. But each of them said the most miraculous thing about the marriage were the children. The children need to talk about their grief, and they could talk to each other. These are 9, 10-year-olds in that range. They could talk to each other. And she said that brought peace to our children. It brought peace to myself. It brought peace to Steve, my new husband. And that was in 2018. I remember the story, kind of, in 2015 on national news. But I just came across it when I was looking for some material for the idea of peace. And that story touches so many parts about how we manage ourselves and how we manage peace itself. Because it gets to the heart level, I believe. And they are examples of how to manage peace and to be in peace when you are grieving, or be at peace when you are grieving. And so, I just thought I'd take a few quotes this morning and talk about a couple of things about peace and how we look at peace, okay? And this first quote here, there we go. Accept that you will never be perfect. Anybody got a problem with that? Now be honest. I know a few perfectionists. I'm not one of them. And anybody knows me knows that I'm not one of them, okay? I am not a perfectionist. I can write any word 2 ways. Or spell, okay? I can say it 3 or 4 different ways. But anyway, accept that you will never be perfect. Life will always have challenges. You know, it's interesting. When the disciples were talking to Jesus, he was talking about peace, and they said, well, how about the wars and everything that's going on? And how the Romans are treating us? I'm sure the dialogue went something like that. And Jesus said, there will always be war. There will always be nature in the way of hurricanes, and he didn't use these words, tornadoes. But nature will be upsetting to us. And that's going to go on and on and on. Kind of like you're saying, get used to it. And there's going to be tragedy in our lives. We're in the human condition. And it's okay, because if we have that tragedy, and I'm not wishing on anybody, including myself, but if there is a tragedy, if there is an incident, if there is a relationship, if there is something in my life that goes the way I don't think it should go, then I have to, one, look at myself and say, what am I contributing to it? The second thing I have to do is understand it's my job to step into a peaceful way of thinking so that I can then clearly know what action I should take so I can grow from it. If I continue in the role of a victim, if I continue understanding life as a drama, and this is a no drama free place, by the way. Any visitors this morning, I just want you to know that. Right? And it's the truth. It is the truth. It's wonderful. But anyway, so that creates peace. But anyway, what we have to do is learn to manage life's challenges, because they're going to happen. And they're going to happen at the most unexpected time, when everything seems to be perfect. And all of a sudden, bam, upside the head comes a 2x4. That hurt. Anyway, and then it said, acceptance is the first step to peace. And it really is true. Acceptance of life itself. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't do something about something that's happening. It doesn't mean we don't care. It means we just accept it is. It's just there. It's part of what I'm dealing with and living with in my life. And so when I go into this role of acceptance, you see, what I'm starting to do is release my expectations of the way you should be. I'm beginning to release my expectations of how my son should show up. I'm beginning to release my expectations of what the church should look like and be like. And accept it as it is. And when I do that, and use that trigger of release, then my head is clear, my heart is clear, and more importantly, I am more in sync with the Christ Spirit within me, with Spirit speaking to me, with understanding how I am and who I am in this human condition, what we call the world. And so, we do that. Now, if, in order to accept certain things, there's another slide here that says, forgive others. It should say others, I don't know why it doesn't, but anyway. Not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Kind of interesting, isn't it? So, that when we are able to let go, release, forgive, then we are able to accept ourselves and accept the other situation, and then do the things necessary to either correct the relationship, if we can, and if we can't, it's okay, to not fix the situation, but to deal with the situation, to embrace the situation. Certainly, our own death is something that people are concerned about, especially when they get about 65. And I'm 83 now. I don't know how much pressure it's going to put on me, because it keeps building, okay? Is this the year? No, I don't think of it that way. I'm very fortunate. But at the same time, it is something that people have great concern about, and they actually grieve over. And if you happen to be in that circumstance, if you're concerned about your death, if you're concerned about the death of another person, get somebody to work with you. Talk with them. You can work through it and talk through it. Because you see, death is not the real adventure. What happens after death is the new journey. What is it? And I don't know. Somebody asked me yesterday, what happens after death? I don't know. But you're a minister. Aren't you supposed to know? They didn't say that. That's what look in their eyes. Okay. I said, I really don't know. Now, you want to know what I believe? I believe that consciousness continues forever. We were born with it. We leave the earth with it. And I don't think it discontinues because my brain and my heart shut down, physical. And so I look at it that way, and I think it's going to be an adventure. My dad said to me right before he died, he said, Richard, I'm going to be dying sometime this week. This is my dad now, okay? It's true. And I said, what? And I'm talking to him just like we're talking right now. He looks just as healthy as could be. Yeah, I got about a week left. I said, okay. I thought he was kidding. He said, I'm not kidding. So if we got anything to talk about, let's talk about it. I said, I'm clear, Dad. How about you? He said, I'm pretty clear, but that's a couple of things, okay? Anyway, I won't tell you what those were, but anyway. So anyway, Dad, he said, here's what I'll do. If anything's happening on the other side, I'll let you know. I'm still listening. So, no, I don't know what's going to happen. But I know that people worry about it from a lot of different perspectives. Financially, family, missing people, all that kind of thing. And it's very natural. But we can deal with it when we come to peace in our hearts about who we are and what we are. I cannot not leave here without saying we are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in the human condition. It's exactly what we are as far as I'm concerned. That's my definition. I'm not a human being, although I act like one. I'm first and foremost a spiritual being. And so are you in my eyes. And so understanding that says to me that death is an adventure. And that we need to more focus our attention on living right now. No matter our age, no matter what the circumstance or no matter our health. Live right now and embrace ourselves, love ourselves. And that brings peace and understanding. And then, all of us know of a guy, if I can get it here. Here we are. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, for every minute you remain angry, you give up 60 seconds of peace of mind. And some people stay angry for years. And I've never been angry. I've been angry sometimes for a few years of my life. Angry at myself. But I really don't know what it must be like to be angry for years. I just wasn't built that way for some reason. And probably part of it's because I was spoiled. I mean, I really was. I think my parents treated me well, but I was spoiled as in the human condition. Many of you have been spoiled, and some of you have not been spoiled in the human condition. I didn't suffer. I wasn't hungry at night. I wasn't homeless. And those who have been in that situation sitting here today know what I'm talking about. So I consider myself, that's why I'm spoiled. Life has spoiled me. But I've been fortunate too. And at the same time, what I understand is that anger, and I used to have an anger management problem. At least that's what my first wife said. But I think I did in some ways. And so, it's something that limits every experience of life. And it's something so easy to get rid of. It really is. Because what you do is you just give it up. Okay? You stop resisting and you start loving. You just embrace the situation, I've said. Whenever my time comes to leave this earthly plane, I have made a decision to embrace myself. If I know what's happening. And when we embrace ourselves, what we're embracing is the Christ within. What we are embracing is pure, unconditional love. What we are embracing is peace and understanding that gives us the power to face anything in a positive and progressive and practical way. And that's what unity is all about. And so, as we continue here, I think I know where I am. There we go. Yeah. Peace is accepting today, being in the now moment, as Eckhart Tolle says, releasing yesterday. That's a hard one. But you know, you never live in the past if you take what's happened in the past and you live with it today. You're never living in the past. You just think you are. You are in the past. And the past is your presence. And we can do something about that through prayer and through meditation. So peace is accepting today, releasing yesterday, back to the forgiveness, and the need of control tomorrow, or giving up the need of control tomorrow. I think Jesus said, don't worry. It won't do any good. He didn't say it quite that way, but he said it in the 5th chapter, or in the 5th book, in Matthew 5, chapter 5. Don't worry. The birds are taking care of everything. Let your Father, as he called it, Abba, take care of you. In today's language, what that says is have faith in yourself. Have faith in the Spirit and the Christ within you that you are. Have faith in the, I kind of call it the cosmic harmony that exists and the tranquility that exists. Because you really have nothing to fear. It may look like it, you may feel like it, but the moment that you embrace whatever it is that's concerning you, it will be released and you will not be controlled by it. I can guarantee you that. That's why we use affirmations. But we also use affirmations and, Barry? Denials. Thank you. I'm 83, guys. Anyway. And just remember, a denial from a psychological standpoint is I am denying what happened. I'm running away from it. Denial from a unity perspective, from what we teach and believe, is that I am I'm not in control of myself. I am in control of a thought that holds me back. I am limiting my thinking, my ability. And what I need to do is bring up something in my life that limits me and then release it and give an affirmation of how I intend to be. That's a true denial, and it's very necessary. Most people love going through the, through the affirmations. I mean, I got people who write affirmations. Like you were saying, I can use affirmations, but when you get to the denials, that's where the pain comes in. That's where we have to release and let go and accept what we're thinking, how we're acting, and how we're showing up. And when we're willing to do that, then life just booms. It becomes exciting. You see people differently. It is so, so very good. And as we thought I'd give a unity definition for peace, just so we make sure it's a unity message. Harmony and tranquility derived from awareness of the Christ consciousness is what Charles and Myrtle Fillmore called peace. Harmony and tranquility derived from the awareness of the Christ consciousness. That's your awareness of spirit in you. Then produces automatically. You don't have to go through 6 different things. It just happens when you think that way and you act that way and you live that way. And then Jesus said, next slide there, peace, yes, peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. I think what Jesus is saying is that you can be a peacemaker. The difference between a peacemaker and a peacekeeper, okay, is that the peacekeeper forcefully keeps the peace. So all the stuff is still underneath. Peacemakers, instead, reach out, and they are there for you, and they're helping you to become at peace with yourself or whatever is happening in the world. There are many, many great peacemakers that have lived through the ages. The Buddha, Jesus, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, and many more. And they always take the stand of being in peace, and even if you are challenging something, that you don't do it from anger, that you do it from love. Nonviolence, communication. Nonviolent way of demonstrating. So I have nothing wrong with demonstrators, even those I disagree with. But if I demonstrate, and I have a few times, I do it going to the place of saying what I want to happen and how I feel good. And I think that helps me show up differently. I'm going to give you one quick example of that. When I was in Richmond, we had a young woman, Dawn, who was a real activist, okay? And you knew how she felt about things, but she did it in a loving and peaceful way. And she went to the state capitol to protest, and they got up on the state capitol grounds, and the Virginia's state capitol looks a lot like Washington, D.C., because it was designed by Thomas Jefferson, the same guy, okay? And so what happened is that when they got up at the top, and there was a whole, maybe 100 people, it wasn't a big demonstration, but what happened is the police stepped out and said, you can't get on the steps, you gotta go back down. And some of the people started to, no, we got it right. And she got up, she told everybody to be quiet, and she said, we are here to make our point known. We are not here to create any problem. These people are doing their job. You guys get off the steps, and we can continue to demonstrate. Showed up on the news, and she was just that blunt with the crowd. And everybody settled down, went back down on the steps, continued to demonstrate for a while. Then they had a party, of course. But anyway, so, peace is what you make of it, but it's really, as you know, it's an inside job. It's what you need to think about if you don't feel peaceful about a situation, about a person, about any part of your life. Stop, think, set an intention, and take action. And you will find peace within yourself. So one little Christmas story. I'm looking at all these gifts here. I know they're gifts, they're wonderful, they're beautiful, and they should be there, and they should go to the homes. But those gifts represent more than a bag or something, a package or a box or some socks or underwear or anything like that, okay? They represent the love that you're going to send to that family to those children, the love that they're going to feel in their hearts that will not only give them joy, but give them peace. There was a couple who went to a church service, and the minister was talking about that they were going to collect for a member of their congregation. Nobody knew who it was. That they would collect items to give the family because the family was in need. And this couple listened, and when they came out of church, the husband said to his wife, I think we got to do that. And she said, I don't know if we can afford to. I mean, we can hardly get food for our family. I don't know what we can do. He said, we got to just do something. I just know it. I just feel it. And she said, I do too. So they put $20 together to buy some items for this family. They met at the church. The church, everybody got in their car, and they literally, I've not seen this happen before, but it's kind of cool, drove to the person's house. And when they got there, the couple in the car who had found $20, it was their home. How about that? So here's somebody reaching out to help somebody, they don't know who it is, and they really are being blessed. And yet they had that presence, that desire to want to be at peace in that moment by sharing with themselves. They didn't even know it. It's kind of a nice way to share Christmas. And so may you be at peace. Then I know I'm going over. Sorry. But anyway, it's going to happen. Oh my, I mean, this is the last time, guys. Come on. I just got to share a couple of things. I don't know if I'll have time to share, but I want to do it right here. I'm going to point out a few people, and I know what that means. I'm going to not point out other people I should, but I'm just going to do it because I need to, and there are so many. But I want to thank Barry, okay? Barry... He doesn't claim it, but he is a minister. Okay? He is a minister. And he's been your minister, he'll be other people's ministers. And yet, while I'm here, I've watched Barry grow. Really, big time. Wasn't anything wrong with him before I got here. He just decided that he needed to grow a little more. So, Barry, thank you for your friendship and the work you've done here. To Joanne and Nancy and Steve, Joe, let's see, Elaine and somebody else. Denise, thank you. The board of directors you have here. Board chair. Who? Oh, that's right. I know you. Anyway, very good. She came home later. But anyway, you guys know that you have a great board of directors. And you should really do something. Yeah. The team leaders I led with, to people I got to know, to each and every one of you, this has been the highlight of my life. I think I said that to Eblas. This has literally been the highlight of my life. I can't tell you why. I'm working with another church now, and it's quite wonderful, but it's just nothing like this. That little old lady you said, Richard, God's calling you. I trust that. And who would have picked Madison, Wisconsin from Virginia? And yet there was a calling. And there was a blessing. And each and every one of you have touched my life, have made me more whole, have made me more appreciative. I felt totally loved. Well, one person, no, I felt totally loved. I'm sorry, I can't be too deep. I felt totally loved by each and every one of you. So thank you for opening your heart, opening your home. And if you want to have peace, come here. Thank you. Okay. So, Pete will now set us down. Thank you. See what happens when you compliment people? Pete, get us ready for meditation if you can. Thank you.
Peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be still. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be
Feel the stillness. Feel the energy of love. Feel the spirit of hope and faith, peace and joy. Allow yourself to breathe and breathe in and breathe out gently. Focus for a moment on that breathing. Affirming that it is opening your heart. And that as your heart opens, you begin a journey in this very moment to that place on high. That place where you and the Christ are truly one. That place where you and all here together are truly one. We call that a place of peace. A place of peace. Peace be still in my heart. Peace be still in my mind. Peace, peace be still in this very moment. being in peace. We continue this day. We continue this service. But more importantly, we give thanks for all life, all circumstances, everything that helps us each journey in growth towards the Christ within. Namaste.
Now, actually, I'm trying to see like how many people are out here. I kind of wanted to invite up any choir members who are with us today, or if you've ever been in the choir. We're gonna sing a little song that choir members know pretty well because we sing it at the end of every practice, and we're gonna dedicate this to Reverend Richard. So come on up. I know there's a few of you. And we're gonna sing it through 3 times. So everybody else, I mean, I think once you hear it the first time, you'll pretty much have it down. And then we invite you to join in. Yeah, and in case any of the words, they're right there. They're not hard. Okay, here we go. Until we meet again, may you know peace, may you know joy. Until we meet again, may you know love divine, may your light brightly shine. Until we meet again. That is special music.
Okay. Well then, let's collect our tithes and offerings. So please put your tithes and offerings over your heart as we say together our offertory blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. Would the ushers please come forward? They're upstairs. Well, do we have a collection basket? We can just keep handing it around. Here comes Sandra. Bless their hearts. And we'll sing our offertory song, I Am So Blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so
Thank you, ushers. Thank you so much. We didn't realize you were going to be in so many places at one time. Please come forward and let's warm up our energy for our blessings of prosperity here at Unity of Madison as we say together. We are grateful for these tithes and offerings. We bless them and send them forth to do their great and mighty works. Thank you, God. And now we do have some children, I do believe, that we'll march in and bless them in. As the light, as the light, as the light, we are walking as the light of God. As the light, 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 as the light of God. We are watching as the light, as the light, as the light. We are watching as the light of God. As the light, 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 as the light of God. We are watching as the light, as the light, as the light. We are watching as the light, as the light of God. As the light, as the light, as the light,
Good morning, everybody. So today was very nice. They worked for a while quietly. They were peacefully. They were working on gingerbread houses, and I have never done that before. So it was. They are sometimes falling apart, but but they had a really, really good time. And we read some stories from a book from Unity about Christmas. So then we actually took the book on Monday, and we almost read all of it. And Soren and Arya choose their favorite story. And maybe Soren can talk about one of the stories, one at a time.
We read St. Nicholas to Santa, and my mom still doesn't believe that Saint Nicholas is Santa. She still doesn't believe it. I still can't believe it. And the stories were about giving. And before, Santa's name was Sinterklaas instead.
Thank you, sir.
I made this. As you see, I have skeleton hands.
Yeah, she has skeleton hands today.
I made a gingerbread house that did not fall apart. My gingerbread house was starting to fall apart.
It's okay too. Good. Yeah. What else?
Thank you so very much. Let's warm up our hands and bless our children with our youth ed blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. Yeah. And at this time, Barry's going to come up and lead us.
All right, so we have one final blessing here to do, Reverend Richard. So this is not just a youth ed blessing, this is our unity blessing. So Richard's touched us all very much over this last year, and let's warm up our hands and just send him all the love that we can with our unity blessing. Richard?
We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are.
And now we'll join together in singing our peace song. I just, you know.
And together, let's say the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.